See, all I see is the purple light with shadows of, they almost seem like spheres or like not dense planets, like shadows of planets.
And do you have a physical body?
Kind of. Like, seems like I can have one if I want to, but I don't have to have one.
Okay, describe it to me.
It's tall. And thin. Almost like amorphous, like it's not even really a body, but it's like a shape of a body.
And does it look male or female?
Seems neither.
Mm-hmm.
I think like it doesn't need to be male or female.
Mm-hmm. And does it feel young or old?
It feels like old for it would be very, very old, so it's not old, but it's not young. It lives a long time, so it doesn't really, it's matured, but not old.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about your surroundings. Are you inside or outside?
I think I'm in a spaceship looking out.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like I'm in a room with glass around it. Looking out the glass into the cosmos, into the stars.
Tell me more about this ship.
It's large. It's like bigger than a city, but not as big as a planet.
Mm-hmm.
It's meant to go long distances for long times. But we don't have to stay on it if we don't want to.
Who else is there with you?
My family's on the ship, but they're not with me. So I have a family. There's other people in the room with me. It's like we're like in the command center, the observation deck. We strategize and plan the journeys.
You mentioned if you don't have to stay on the ship. Where would you go if you weren't on the ship?
We could go anywhere, but usually we would choose to go back to where we came from.
And where is it that you're coming from?
Coming from a star for a solar system.
A what? Say a what?
A star or a solar system. I don't think it's just one. Doesn't seem like it's just one place. It's a grouping of
Does it have a
places.
name?
They're saying, okay, I'm not believing them because it's just too right. They're saying the Pleiades,
Mm-hmm.
but not, it's like an outskirt of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's less, the place that I come from is less humanoid.
Mm-hmm.
It's more amorphous, so it's a grouping around there. And we're in contact with the humanoids, but we can take that form if we want, but we usually choose to stay more in the amorphous state of the long skinny bodies. Because we find them freer and easier to shift in and out of. It's like our energies can go anywhere we want them to go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure why we choose to be on this ship.
What is your mission?
We travel to places to bring energy and help balance and create. And we travel as a group because we're stronger that way. Sometimes we go individually and pop in and come back, but usually we stay as a group on the ship with that energy to keep each other focused and strong, and so we have a single focus that makes us stronger and more effective for what we try to do.
You said you travel to places to bring energy and to help balance and create. How do you go about doing that?
We have many ways to do that. Sometimes we just hover and send our energy. Sometimes we go to the surface and integrate with those there, either within them or outside of them. And we spread ideas and give ideas and try to help with the perpetuation of creativity and life and evolution.
Is there a commander on the ship or someone in charge? A leader?
There's a group of leaders. There's not one person. I'm part of that group, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
We switch off and collaborate, because if one energy decides to go, there's still the other energies to be able to do what we need.
Mm.
So there's a group of us who are the way showers, who are the planners, who try to decide, who do decide where we go, where we focus our group attention, where our next missions will be, and how to achieve those missions.
And you mentioned that you're helping the humanoids. Where are these humanoids? Are they on a specific planet?
Well, when I was saying that, I was saying that the other groupings of people who come from where we are more humanoid. They are evolved already, so we interact with them as equals. They don't usually need our energetic help because they've already created an advanced society. They choose to be humanoids on those planets, but it's not like it is on Earth or other denser planets. But we do help humans, and we do help other lower density energies throughout the cosmos to help them when they are challenged or stuck, to see a different way of being and living and growing.
What are some of the ways you're helping on Earth?
We're trying hard to help on Earth. It's very confused and dense, and because of course of free will, we can't just impose what we want there. There needs to be collaboration and cooperation with the souls that are willing to take our help, our advice, our knowing. So we integrate with their energies, with their ideas, and try to magnify their ability to enact change in the midst of the matrix energy that is preventing change from happening. The simulation that is taken over is difficult for humans to break through, and we are trying, along with many others of all different kinds, to help them see and break through that so that they can evolve and move on and out of the densities that they and the planet have been stuck in for millennia.
You mentioned free will, and then the simulation taken over. It seems as though beings that want to help humanity on Earth always mention free will, They don't want to violate free will. However, it looks like, or seems like, these negative forces, I guess the right question would be, it seems like the negative forces are violating people's free will, and yet people that want to, or beings that want to help, don't want to violate free will. It's almost confusing. It's very confusing.
Yes. To humans, it seems confusing because they have a different playbook than we do. And the overlords of that planet right now have violated many of the codes and the rules of the natural universe. But as that has happened, it has become a game. It's a different word. Game. It has become a challenge that the souls who have decided to manifest there and integrate there have taken on freely to be in that form and break through the programming and trickery without being forced and without knowing that they're playing the game. So the souls that are there that have manifested and decided to come in thought that they would not be so consumed by the illusion that their free will before they manifested said that they were only willing to take a certain kind of help. So the positive souls on that planet are playing by the free will rules, while the negative souls and the ones who can be hijacked, well, the good souls can be hijacked too. The negative souls that are the overlords are not playing by those rules, and they manifested there with all of their knowing and their ability to consciously and knowingly call on the negative entities off planet to keep their simulation going. So the battle is between those who know and use the negative entities consciously and those who jump in with the good intentions and the good souls playing by the rules, saying that they will find their way out on their own with limited help from people like us, because they will the challenge is to break out of that with the lower consciousness and rise to the upper consciousness. So we have to honor their intention before they decide to go down and manifest there and take on that challenge that they don't see as challenging before they go there, even though they're seeing other people go through it. They don't believe that it's that there's that much trickery and that much loss of knowing how powerful they are, who they truly are. So they choose to take that route and get stuck in the soup of the denseness. So we try to energetically remind them of who they are and what they're capable of so that they can rise themselves without breaking their intention and commitment to having free will in those lower densities. So the evil ones, and they are evil, that's not an illusion, that is true. The evil ones do not play by those rules. So the negative entities can assist them in different ways. But there are people now that are not agreeing to play by the free will rules anymore, or they're changing their agreement. Some are changing their agreement who are already there, and many coming in are not abiding by that agreement. So that they are abiding by free will, but their free will is saying that they will take help from the off-planet energies and beings to rid the earth of the evil ones, and they will take all the help that they can get without violating a human agreement. So the balance will be changing. It is changing. But there are still many who are abiding by the contract of the free will and the forgetfulness that we can only influence from a small amount, from the peripheries. But if people change their contracts, if they change their intention, we can help them in a different way.
How would they go about changing the contract?
Just saying it, just being aware that that was the contract they made, but they were not aware of the level that the evil ones were getting help, and so their hands were tied, and they can untie their own hands. They just nullify their old contracts and write new contracts.
What is a typical day for you?
We meet a lot. We talk about if somebody wants to leave, where they're going, how long they think they'll be gone, if they'll come back, where they're going. We put our intention, we group, almost like group meditations, we put decide where we're going to put our intention as a group and send it there. And then individually we can also still do our individual projects or intentions, as far as if we want to also put our energy somewhere else, because we have unlimited energy to share.
Where do you get this energy from?
From the Creator.
Can anyone tap into that energy?
It's easier for us because of the form and formlessness that we take, but that energy is available to any creature that is manifesting anywhere.
How would a human go about tapping into that energy?
Being open to looking at themselves as a vessel that can be filled with divine energy and light, and always committing to only using that for everybody's and everything's highest and best good, to let it fill up and stream through their bodies to be used to help raise consciousness, raise vibration, shine light onto the darkness, into the darkness. We feel for humans, even though we don't feel in a way that they feel. We are conscientious of their plight and flight and fight, flight and plight. They're using a word that we're conscientious of their challenges, and we are trying to help them break through those limitations so that they can get to the other side of this game sooner than the evil ones want to let them go. There are many focused on helping Earth right now because of the cries of help and the negative vibration coming from that quadrant, that it is calling all compassionate beings to assist in whatever way they can with their abilities and intentions and love.
What is your favorite thing to do here?
To look out at the vastness of space. I like the freedom of deciding whether to have a form made of matter or not. I like the ability to be different places at the same time. I like the vastness of my body and of space and of my abilities.
How do you sustain the body? Do you have to eat like humans?
We don't have to eat. We can eat, but we don't have to eat.
And do you have to rest or sleep?
We don't have to. We can switch our energies to take on forms that do have to do that. And sometimes that's like a vacation for us to for a different perspective, but we don't take vacations to necessarily rest, because we don't need rest in this form. We only need rest if we decide to take on a form that needs rest, more humanoid form. But in these forms, we just continuously exist and are on and in consciousness.
Do you have a lifespan?
No. We always exist.
So you mentioned you have a family. Tell us about your family. Do you create another being?
With intention and resonance, we decide to coexist with certain other energies, and some are younger and less formed, and some are older and more wise and experienced, and we can change families if we choose, but many get used to the energies of their families and stay together for many millennia in Earth time. What you would call the children of our families come to us to learn and observe and be in vibration with our skills. So it is like a mentoring more than a parent. Because we love all, but some vibrations are more resonant with each other than others.
Can a human reincarnate into a life where you are?
There are many humans who are part of who we are. Like, she is a part of me right now in human form. So our energies can split and be many places at once. So we have had many energies and beings from this place incarnate as humans, but because our energy always is, we don't think in terms of reincarnation. We think in terms of manifestation and being in different times, places, and forms. But since the soul is eternal and we are timeless, reincarnation is a different concept than the human concept of that.
Who is speaking now?
It starts with an E or Elam. I cannot say it in there. It's a sound, it's a vibration, it's a closest I can say with my mouth is Elohim, Elohim. Because we recognize each other with feelings and vibrations, very often we do not use names. We do have names, but we don't use them.
How long have you been with?
I've always been with her. She's always been with me. She's a part of my energy. And it's trapped. It's part of that is trapped in her.
Have we spoken with you in previous sessions?
No.
Why did you choose to come forward today?
Because she needs to release that which is trapped to move forward, not only herself, but humanity.
And how can she go about releasing this, what is trapped?
She has to trust and not fear in her bigness and her power and her ability. She has to be willing to be the vessel that is unlimited by human ideas and constraints and beliefs. She has to truly believe and step into the role that she created for herself before she took on that form. Like everybody there, she forgot and has to remember.
It's almost not fair what's going on in Earth with coming here without the wisdom and also being tricked into so many things. It's not fair.
Yes, from many perspectives it is not fair, but because you all who are there are warriors, your hubris and challenge was thinking that you could do it without our help. So that's changing and needs to change, and then the fairness will be unimportant because you will have the tools that the others have on the other side to combat and change what is happening. In a human perspective, it is heartbreaking to experience, and from our perspective we see that, and because we can feel everything, we feel that, but it is not going to stay that way, and it will never be allowed to happen again in this same way because of the suffering and the vibrations that that sends out to the multiverses, affects everything in a negative way.
I think you'll agree with me when I say we are asking for your help. Please come and help us on Earth.
We are here and we are trying, and we need more invitations to infuse and embody those willing. So energetically, as many people as you can get to open up to that possibility, we will infuse as many people as we can without violating their agreement and their free will, because they will change their contracts and agreements. And then we can flood the humans on this planet willing to be agents of light with all of our knowledge and all of our strength. And then inevitably the darkness will recede.
Tell us what we need to do to cooperate with this.
Your invitation is most welcome, and we know that many others would want to join in that invitation. So as incarnates on that planet, you can be beacons and radio towers of that information to broadcast to others on a frequency. You can send out a frequency invitation that any who are willing and who want to have our help will open up to that, and we can work with them. It does not have to be, it can be an unconscious agreement and knowledge with them, because many do not know and will not believe that they can consciously ask and receive this kind of energy. So be beacons, be transmitters, transmit. You can transmit through streams, through waters, through intention, through crystals, through dreams. We don't like to send this kind of information through the negative earthly towers because there's too much static and too much negative use through them currently. Mm-hmm. So we don't ask and believe that that is the best way to transmit this kind of information. Many are working to clear that pathway up, mm-hmm. but it is still very murky, and it can be corrupted through those channels.
Would it be beneficial for us to gather people together again like we used to in groups?
Groups are good for people. They are not necessary, but it's good for human souls to be with like-minded people at this time, because so many feel alone and ununderstood. So the groups help the human spirit perk up and also can help channel this energy, but it is not necessary for that.
Okay.
It's hard for you on this planet to do groups right now. There's so much busyness and so much scattered intentions that getting groups together is being thwarted, and not only by the negatives that don't want groups, but also by the people who would benefit from groups. It seems to not be a smooth process currently. We can help with that because we do believe that the group energy would be good for the human soul.
What is the best way to open lines of communication to you?
They are open and they are there for you. Now that you know who we are, you just ask. And you can ask for the color yellow. For some reason, color yellow. The color yellow will always connect with us. So your sun, your flowers, anything yellow has a direct connection to us. But since we trying to give you a name or you can call us all Elohim. That's the closest I can get to it. You can call in that energy, that vibration. Elohim.
Thank you, we appreciate that.